We're back. Meet Your Maker, episode 2. All right. Luckily we have some stuff that Troy has created here. Look at that. That's a beautiful Primo, ain't it? Filipino, what's good? All right. Victor So Spicy in the building. And we got, says Primo's Peppers joined. All right. Hold on a second. Why is it? Okay. Troy, I'm going to bring him out right now. Troy, hit that little thing at the bottom. It looks like, on my phone, it looks like a, Wendy Mustache in the building. It looks like a camera. It looks like it's got a plus sign on it. There's a little button. If you hit that, it'll send me a request. And then I can just accept it. And bing, bang, boom, you're on with me. All right, there we go. That's right. Why did it not, hold on, there he is. What's
Rock
up?
action. What's going on,
How
man?
you doing, brother?
Doing all right.
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing okay, man. I just got the kids and the wife and kid to bed, you know, the kids.
Is it
And
still light there?
no, it's dark. You know, he hits
Okay.
at about 8:30 Central, and, you know, sometimes it's harder to get them to bed than other times. But, you know, I'm good,
Right.
man. Just,
Mine's not to bed yet, so hey, you're doing better than
well,
me.
how old is yours?
Well, I got a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old, so
You know, you've done that. Yeah, I'm at 3.5, and I'm in the thicket of Toddlerville, dude. It's like, man. People ask me why I don't go to shows, why I can't make these events and all this. And my joke is like, you know, come on, Kara, we can bring them. Kids survived Woodstock, you know. I mean, they you know, let's haul them around, you know. So
yeah.
anyway, it'll work out.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. So, guys, anybody that's tuning in, you know, last week we had Johnny on, Meet Your Maker. We talked about some of the new products that him and David been coming out with. I wolfed down the 7 Pot Primo Fire Bar. That's the second one I've done on Instagram.
How's that?
It's so awesome, man. I got one the day that David said it, pre-order, you know, I was sold. I seen Johnny eat it. I said, give me one. And, you know, they're like an hour away. So it came, I think, next day or 2 days later. And I was on Instagram. I usually do most of my stuff on YouTube, but I like Instagram. Instagram, something about it, it's less formal, and it's kind of just, I don't know. So, but I ate one and I loved it. So I ordered another one. And then when I was on with Johnny, I'm like, I'm going to eat this. And, it's great, man. I don't know how to explain it. It's just sweet, and it's just...
They're good.
But, yeah, it's really good.
They're good at what they do, man, you know?
Oh, yeah, man. David's a genius, man. But literally, we talked about that, you know, how him and Johnny go to the store and look for things that they can corrupt with Primo powder.
They've got a good thing going on because, you know, when they come up with stuff, I'm like, man, that's pretty intuitive. You know, that's kind of like, that's the next thing maybe, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe ice cream bars are going to catch on, you know, like with pepper powder. I don't know, but
I mean, look, it was good. I've been told everybody, I'm like, you got to order one, you know, you got to try it. I mean, I told Johnny, I'm like, yeah, I said your 6 hot balls used to be my favorite challenge. I said, but not no more. I said, I think the Fire Bar's got it going on, but
cool, man.
Or you can separate them, savory and sweet.
Yeah.
They both win first prize.
Yeah,
but
those meat sticks look pretty cool, man. You know?
Oh my, dude! So I ate one. I don't know if you've seen the video or not, but I got ripped. I ate one and then I put a piece in a Primo, and I don't eat whole pods, you know, hardly ever. So I got ripped off of it. But anyways, I brought the other 2 into work, and I shared one with the coworkers, and then it just a third of one wasn't enough, so I ate the other one. So I went through 4 of them in less than 24 hours, man. They were slamming. They were really, really good. I'm usually picky about meat sticks, too, because, you know, the grocery stores, they're kind of, the ones from the grocery store are not good. So, but
Kara orders some from some place, Thrive or something, some grass-fed something the other, and they're good, but they don't, I guess if I want the ones with the Primo powder, I either have to get them from Johnny, or I'll just bust open a bag of my powder and you know, roll them around in there for a while, you know.
I just feel like fun dip. You know what I mean?
You saw Zoot do that stuff, man. I mean, Goot. I called him Zoot.
Yeah.
It's like a Zoot suit. Goot.
Zoot Goot. Yeah.
Yeah, Zoot Goot.
the
But
fun.
that was it. Yeah, that was interesting.
So,
So
anyways,
yeah, I was saying, go
go
ahead,
ahead.
man. Yeah, no, I just like let's just talk, man. What you're interested in?
So, guys, anybody that doesn't know, this is Troy Primo. He is the creator of this monstrosity right here. And this one, it's the same pepper, but you know, some of them different tails going on, but they
Yeah.
either way, they're both equally as hot, no matter what they look like. And he created the 7-Pot Primo, and he's created a whole bunch of sauces. The Primonition, that's just like I think almost everyone's favorite Verde out there, that from what I've gathered, and then the
Cool.
Swampadelic, and so when did you start like getting into making sauce?
Well, I was like, making jelly first. My wife and I have this pepper jelly line that's, yeah, it does well. It's tasty, and I never really wanted to make jelly, but kind of got stuck doing it, pun intended. She came out with a good product, and people love it, start selling. So we started doing festivals. I had the Primo pepper out already, and I'd probably sell powders and stuff at these festivals. And this one in Lafayette, I met like that one festival. I met K. John Hard. John Hard.
Yeah, yeah,
I met Gary Montcalm, which is a great friend and grower of mine now.
yep.
God, who else we met? I met Duffy there, Jim Duffy. I met I'm forgetting Chris Dennis. I'm trying to think of any other like the Bravado guys. I mean, they were just starting out. There was a bunch of people there. Butch T. I met Butch there. Oh, and this guy named Ed Curry. I met Ed Curry there, and and it was cool. Everybody had a good time. And John Hard came up to me and said, "We should make a hot sauce," And I was like, "Well, I got a recipe." And he's like, "Well, I got some recipes." No, I got a recipe. I want to do this Cajun thing. And we kind of went back and forth with it. And, I wanted to do the Cajun thing in it and the smoky thing. And so we twisted and it ended up being the Swampadelic. And that was probably 2015, I think,
Wow.
So, it's won many awards since then. And then, we were doing Zest Fest, and my wife says, we should do a Verde, and she came up with that one totally. I didn't have any involvement in it other than like kind of trying to make it shelf stable. And you know how it goes, tweaking it a little bit with the ratios, but how to get in a bottle, you can make things in your kitchen that are delightful, but then you have to make it shelf stable and all
Right.
that
Yeah.
other stuff. So,
Yep.
so I did that. We did that, and it just kind of, now we got the Primo Army coming out, and so there's tons of recipes. It's just time, it's not so much. It costs money to do these things, but it's more like just finding the time to do it, And I think you had the Primo Army. I had that in R&D for years, and you had
This
some
one.
of it, right?
Yeah.
Now
It's
the
stupid
Copac,
hot.
it's stupid hot. The Copac version, I don't know if it's as hot because it's got a lot of mash. It's got double the mash of Swampadelic. So put any more mash and I probably wouldn't be able to pour it. I think that one's kind of thick.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's hot. I mean, people like it. And it's got a supporting cast of seasonings that, it's not like to overshadow the Primo. I just wanted that pepper to be showcased and it be a simple sauce, kind of like, everybody's like, you need something hotter than Swampadelic. And, throw around the competitors' stuff like, Squeezins and all this other, other brands, like my buddy Gene Ashes to Ashes. And, and you should make something hotter, like in vein that showcases the 7-Pot Primo. Cause I mean, you invented it and other people are doing it. So why not? And I said, okay, let's do this one for the chili heads and keep it pepper forward with minimal, other ingredients that just to kind of insinuate, it's got a little bit more sweetness and honey to kind of offset any bitterness from the extra mash. And I
Right.
don't think I had honey in the one I did for you, but so there's a few little tweaks, but the reviews have been great, and I'm glad people so far like it. you know, it's not going to roll out the door. I wouldn't expect like Primonition, because Primonition, you can pour it on a taco. You know, you just, you know, a bottle's gone in like 2 meals, you know, 3 meals. Whereas this one's going to last you a little bit longer, you know, but that's okay. You know, we're just doing, we're not doing this to get rich.
Look, you gave me this in November. Look, it's that hot. But we also kind of wanted it. Like I said, until you came out with this, we were kind of reserving it for special occasions, you know. And it's a good thing. In the winter, that's what I do on YouTube when there's no pods. You know, and I still got pods. I grew a little bit indoor, you know, for a little while last year, and I had people. I got people that send me stuff in the winter. But I'm mostly just reviewing hot sauces, and I love it. I call it hot sauce. It's hot sauce season, you know. It starts right about now, and I make a big deal out of it. And I mean, I know like my gardening videos and like my other stuff challenges, they do good, and the hot sauce reviews don't do as good. But it's what I like doing, so I don't care. You know,
do what you like doing. Do what you like doing.
Yeah,
man. I mean,
and I love it. I love reviewing hot sauce.
The minute it becomes contrived, it's like that's when you failed. You know, if you're in a band and you're trying to write a hit, chances are you're not going to write a hit. You know, you're just going to get lucky with if you get lucky with talent and a little, you know, a little know-how and a lot of passion, a little luck, then you'll have a hit. But if you're chasing something,
no,
I don't like chasing things, man. I like to try to be ahead, and I either fail trying, or it's I mean, the Primo Army. I mean, come on, it's I'm not reinventing the wheel, but like with some of the other things that are coming out, kind of try to make it different, man. You know, if I'm doing something to like someone else, I got to go the opposite direction. You know, it's just me. I'd rather just die trying, you know, to be unique.
That's right. Yeah, and Swampadelic, I mean, both and the Primonition are both very unique. They don't taste like anything else that I've had. I love both of them. And yeah, and this here, that when I tried that, because when I was with you that day, I tried the other stuff. You gave me some of the fig habanero. I actually I didn't get the strawberry cayenne. I brought that home, and that was gone in a day and a half.
Cool,
so,
yeah.
But so anyways, but this was I don't think I tried it, because I remember John had the lefty the taco one.
Poncho and Lefty.
Right, so we tried that and with Vic and everyone, but this I didn't try till the next day. You've seen the review. I remember I cracked it open for breakfast. Yeah. I got calf cramps, and I had it with food. And I was literally like, after I was done, I was like, oh man, and I had to drink some milk, and I was fine, but I was like, that is crazy. I'm like, that's, you know, up there, one of the, if not the hottest all-natural sauce. You know, I've had a lot of these for this. This chili head sauce. So guys, if you haven't gone to primospeppers.com and got this yet, you need to get one, because
thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I love it. Like, when it comes to pods, yes, I'm a yellow pod guy. That's just, you know, that's what I like. Right, love them and whatnot. And I make a yellow sauce, and you know, and everything. But I still love a red sauce. Look at this. This is my Primo powder, right? I mix it. I fine ground and a coarse ground together, and this is on my table. I eat this on everything: spaghetti, you know, pizza.
Cool, man.
Crushed red pepper don't do it for me no more, but this is like that's it. And that's the thing is,
that's the one I had over there when I saw you. That powder.
There might be a little bit. No, I don't know. No, this one I ground up. I dried some of my own out and ground them up. Yeah, and I use it flake and everything, man.
The one I have right now is hot. I think it's pretty hot. We use it in the sauce and stuff. So.
You gave me some. I said it was the hottest pepper powder I've ever had. It blew me. It was so fine, and it tasted good too. Yeah, but yeah, it was so fine. It's like it just went everywhere, and that stuff that lit my wife up too. You know, and it's hard to get her burning. But she was like, "That's the hottest powder I've ever had." She goes, "That's the hottest powder I've ever had." And I said, "I think it is for me too," and it tastes so good. And I tell people, I told you this before, and I tell people all the time, hang on, baby. Hold on one second.
That's all right. I know the routine.
Good job. Tell her. Good job. Tell her I said good job. Yeah, she's talking about the baby, my daughter. My daughter's she's mentally handicapped, but she had a problem with her heart also, so she had a heart surgery 6 months ago, and everything went well, and she's
Good,
doing
man.
so good.
Good.
So I'm getting updates. This is what that was an update, and it's
that's
just like,
good.
man, it's so awesome.
Bless her
But
heart, man. That's good.
what I was saying was, and and anybody watching this, I'll say this, that no matter where you stand on this, if the Primo and the Reaper were the same thing, they are not today.
Right.
And I just say that because I've eaten enough of them, and I've had them side by side, and we've done the powders and everything. And if it was that, then it's not 100% no more. I think it was corrupted at some point throughout the the whole time frame. But I know it's like the taste is so much better of this pepper than anything else out there. And especially like I said, flake, like chili flake, and this stuff I eat on everything. I like eating I eat my breakfast, and I actually tell people, they're like, "What do you eat with your food, pods or sauce?" I'm like, both,
Yeah,
like,
the whole Reaper thing, man. The way I look at it, my analogy is this, and just my opinion is that you got two kids, and one you feed really well, and whatever, just my personal opinion, and the other, and you nurture. And then maybe the other one you don't, or any pepper that has a fork in the road, like you buy Primos, right? I'm not going to pick on anybody. So you buy Primos, and one person like myself might give it a love every year, and selectively breeding and making sure the genetics are good, isolation, and feed it well and all this stuff, and selectively breeding. And then the other person might not, and that's my take on it. So, I think there's a commonality there, but who knows, man?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And I always tell people that
people can love both of them. I mean, I'd rather them love mine, but it's like, I'm like the underdog in this game. So,
well, what? I mean, either way, I tell people it's this. They have to. That's what I tell them. And I'm glad you got your powder up. I know you were running low back then, but you got. I seen you got the 2 ounce bags, and I think you got 1 ounce bags also, right?
Yeah, one and two. Yeah, I was going to try that. I was going to maybe do something a little less or more. I don't know. It just depends. It seems like a lot of people were ordering the 2 ounces, a little bit more bang for the buck. And, I'm doing them in the bags, but man, I don't know if I might go to jars, because I know personally the bags they're rough, like you open that bag and you got to scoop it out, but so what I would recommend doing personally is getting you going to World Market or something, getting a little spice jar, and then a funnel, bingo, and dump it in there.
These are half ounce. So 1/2 ounce of powder fits in them. So remember the little bags like you gave me?
Right.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
But I mean, these are just something. I give them away when I launched my hot sauce company. I had like a sale, and I gave out pepper powders. With the like a certain weekend or something. I was just like, go ahead. But I mean, I love them, and I love the packaging too. I seen them, and I was like, oh yeah, man. I'll order some soon. I still, I'm a little bit stocked up. Not much, so this won't last me long. Yeah. Thank God I haven't made any challenges lately. So
we'll hook you up with something, man.
Man.
Some goodies.
And it's so good, and I suggest anybody watching this, trust me, go to primospeppers.com and grab you some sauce. And grab at least 1 2 ounce bag of that Primo powder. You will not be disappointed. It is scorching hot, but it tastes good, because anything can be hot. I got a jar of crystals in there. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to end up doing with it, but still, anything can be hot.
I thought you quit doing crystal, man. I thought you quit doing that stuff, man.
Just on weekends.
Just on weekends, right? No,
just on weekends. I do not do crystals.
I'm not condoning crystal use.
If I'm at church.
Well, you just wear some crystals around your neck and get the energy, man. Get rid of that 5G vibes.
The Alabama Crystal Rehab.
Yeah. No, I
But
mean, no,
yeah, that's
seriously. Yeah, I know the capsaicin crystals are no joke. And you're right. It's easier to make something hot. It's hard to make it taste good and be hot. And
yeah.
that's kind of where we were with the Primo Army. Just make it taste good. And, there's a certain bitterness with ultra hots.
Oh
And
yeah. All
the
day, all
Primo
the
a little
time.
less than some, but it's there. So you kind of try to balance it out with certain things, and
Yeah,
it's
I
still got
found it.
it's gonna have some. Go ahead.
I found it less floral than the Reaper, and a lot of other ones. It has, it's a super hot. They all got floral and bitter, straight up. But I found it to be less floral than a lot of the other ones out there.
Like the mustard
To
mama,
me
like
personally.
my mustard mama. That's a floral bomb, man. Like the BBMs and stuff,
You
That
know
Tim,
what? I sent, so Bill Corbett sent me a whole bunch.
yeah,
I
Bill.
bought 2 large boxes off of them last year of those BBMs. And, all right, so I'm going to show you guys. This is how I eat. This is Primo Army
Cheers.
with a
Look,
7-pot Primo on it.
oh,
But yeah,
oh,
Bill sent me some last year, and I ended up sending a bunch to Colton, Rock and Heat, because he made a good honey verde sauce and called the Sticky Stinger. So I sent it to him, and he made one called Searing Stinger with all BBMs and then the honey and whatnot.
it's gonna be hot,
Scorching
man.
hot,
Yeah.
but scorching
Yeah,
hot. All right, here we go.
Cheers. Look, I'm double fisting hop water and coffee. It's like 8:30. It's not, I mean, coffee. I don't know who drinks coffee this time. I do, but I can sleep.
I drink coffee all day till it's
my wife
Cool.
chicory root.
she does chicory root.
Oh, yeah, they do
She
that a lot.
loves it.
New Orleans does a lot of that.
Yeah,
There you go.
wow, it was hot.
But
Woo!
we just picked up your backup quarterback, I believe, Carolina, I think, something like that.
Oh yeah.
The Saints, I haven't watched many games because I'm just like, man, it's just a glutton for punishment in a lot of ways, How you doing with that pepper there, man?
I took my
He's riding the
took my breath
pain
away.
train,
I
flip-flopping through
really
the
got hiccups.
cosmos. You want me
I
to
got
narrate
hiccups like twice in my life from hot stuff, and I fit. That's what this feels like is about to happen. But woo!
Wait, I'm gonna narrate it.
It
Right?
took
Watch.
my breath
So,
away
what
completely.
he's doing now is flip-flopping through the cosmos,
Ooh.
riding the pain train. This is your life.
Oh, I just hiccuped, Troy.
Bullcow. You think you bad, punk?
It's a rare event. You guys are seeing me hiccup. That doesn't never happen.
Hey, look,
It's happened twice.
it's okay. Look, I can talk a lot, man. While you get your shit together. So, look, that's one thing when I do all these festivals, and when I met you and we did our thing out there, I'm the one apologizing to people, like, I'm sorry. I hope you're all right. Here's some Szechuan peppercorns that help your stomach. And they're like, man, we signed up for this. We know what we're getting into, but I'm like, yeah, man. But it was like some of that stuff, the competitions are like, I'm watching it and I'm just like, it's almost like watching somebody slice bits out of their arm or something. It's like, it's just I don't know. I enjoy it because it's rock and roll, and I enjoy the competitive nature of it and just balls to the wall, like element of it. But there's also that kind of like danger. It's like going to see the Stones or Guns N' Roses, or there's a Halloween in the air. It's like there's an uncertainty. I used to say no one's gonna die, but nowadays, it's like that's a taboo word. But
And you remember the last time we seen each other? Not the time before that. The last time, yeah. That we can't talk about that pepper eating contest, but that was brutal.
yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was
Yeah.
nuts, man. And I even said to the producers, I said, if anyone accuses you guys of scripting this, tell them come talk to me because I was here.
No, we
I'm
can't.
like, but it went so good.
No,
It went so good that I literally was like, people are gonna think we fake this stuff, But yeah, it's funny, man.
There's no faking about it. And I know we can't
No,
talk
not at
about
all.
it, but I will. We can't talk about it. We'll say that people are in for a treat, and it's a good thing for the community. And I just can't wait for it to come out whenever that may be. I don't even have the intel on it, But you know, so when it does, it does, and there's a lot of the usual suspects in it, you know, and friends, and you know that I've known for all these years, and some new friends too. I think that was the first time I really met you, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
That's the first time I met you.
in person.
In
Yeah.
person.
So,
Yep. I was out and I said, you know, Vic invited me out to the first one and then League of Fire to the second. Where I gave you that barbecue sauce, where you gave me this,
yeah, that's good
it's
stuff.
5 minutes from my house. So
Oh, wow. Cool.
I was like, hey, wait a second. I'm like, all right. And I went out and you were the first person I seen, I think. Yeah.
Vic's funny,
When I walked up,
man. Some
I
of
was
the
like, hey, man.
Vic and I used to I team up with K John, and you know we did Fire Foods. Kara and I were guests at their booth when Vic was doing the station, you know, there, and K John's and John Hard and Sue and Kara and I were selling like Bayou-delic. That was the R&D that we were working on. We never put it out because I was too picky about it. And it was good. People loved it. But Vic was behind me burning people out with the execution station, you know, and just making funny jokes and all that stuff. You know, he's just funny, man, you know. So I always had a good time doing those shows. And, you know, it'd be like Johnny Mack and Seabury and, you know, all my buds, you know. We had the Jersey Bonfire boys there, and we rented a house up in the hills, and, you know, San Diaz, and then and also Ron, you know, Ron Menon of Hell's Kitchen hot sauce. He's a good dude. Yeah, if you want you want somebody for karaoke, like a karaoke contest, that's the guy you get, because he could sing like Steve Perry or Rob Halford. You know, he could do some Judas Priest, and you know, we had fun. Anyway, so yeah, man, hit me up with anything you want to know, dude. And you know, if it's something I can't talk about, I'll just kind of divert. You know.
No, that's fine. We all right. I'm gonna go to the comments and see if anyone's having any questions. Shout out to everybody that's watching. Reaper Teacher.
Hey Annie,
how
you doing,
burning
girlie?
still. I shouldn't have drank water, Troy. I'm dying. That pepper's still ripping me up.
It's all right. I can't.
Oh yeah. It's a long one. No, it's okay. Let me look. Today's adventure is in the building. Sunny. Let's see. All right. Anybody got any questions? Go ahead and shoot them off.
People probably know everything about me, but I'm a quiet guy who talks a lot, you know. So
all right, Spicy in the 414 said, Troy and Uncle, I know what I'm getting you guys for Christmas this year. A bag of hair apiece. Oh, okay.
Hair? Yeah, man. Look. Oh, there you go. I just shaved mine today, man. Me
and him we're just the two lighter skinned extra backup singers for the rap group Onyx. That's all.
Yeah, or we're like in the blue group or whatever, and we just forgot our blue paint.
The blue man.
Yeah. I had a career before this. I'll tell y'all a secret. I was the Mr. Clean guy, you know, and you know, I just couldn't act, you know. So no, I'm just joking. you know, the Mr. Clean guy. Anyway, no. Basically, dude, I had an afro, you know, when I was a kid.
I've seen pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, my name is Ronald Troy Primo, but Primeaux, Cajun French. I just do Primo just to make it easy. And kids were brutal, man. You know, freckle-faced, red-haired kid. It's white now. It was red. And, you know, Brady Bunch afro. And, you know, when I could get my own haircut, I did. And, you know, it wasn't until I started playing music that my buddy saw a picture of me at my dad's house and said, dude, you got to do that. So then it became this kind of like rock and roll thing. I let it grow out. I was like, why would I want to do this? But he just kept saying, do it. So I just did it. Insecurities aside. And, you know, they started calling me by my last name, Primo on lead guitar. And like a Slash kind of character, you know, like with wearing some Haight-Ashbury pants and psychedelic stuff and eyeliner like Keith Richards, and, you know, with afro and kind of like T-Rexy, you know. And you know, I saw this chick in the crowd, and she's like, you know, looking at me, and she dug me and thought I was something special, I guess. And she became my wife, you know. It's like,
Amen.
you just don't know. You just have to take an insecurity and just, you know, roll with it, you know. And I thank my buddy Deej for that, you know. So anyway, but nowadays, if I would try to grow it out, I would get some here and some here, so I'd look
Exactly.
like Bozo, man. You know? So I'm
Exactly.
just like,
Yeah, I
shave
can't
that
ever
off,
grow
brother.
mine out.
Yeah.
I grew up the same thing. I had an afro, and yeah, you know, the only compliment was school picture day. The ladies that would, you know, get you lined up, or they take the pictures, and oh, look at those curls, they're so beautiful, you know. Besides that, everybody else kind
curls.
of
Teach. I was reading the comment. It says, ought to make a sauce called Prima Donna. I'm not that vain. No. But yeah, curls. Oh, he's so cute with
yeah.
his curls. And then you'd be like, the kids would be looking at you like, at recess, you're getting it, you know? So.
Yeah, I as soon as I got, you know, it's when I got older, I started cutting my own hair with clippers. I learned to fade and all that, and I literally said I can't grow that out again. But there was a point when I got older, and I was able to, you know, if I used like gel or something, it would kind of look good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it wouldn't be so frizzy.
Yeah, the frizz. Oh, I
Have
love
the little
some gel, man.
Yeah,
Gel.
have the little Jerry curls on top, you know, and stuff like that. But yeah, so. I remember that back then. Like, it was like literally you would walk to school, and I'm in upstate New York, so it's freezing. It's like 20 degrees. You're walking to school, and and if I go there, and we were always worried about how we looked, but we used to put gel. This is the 80s. That was the big thing.
I remember,
you know?
gel, dude. Yeah.
Put in our hair, and you put your hat on, and you get to school. Your hat, you take it off, it'd be all slimy. And then the stuff would start kind of evaporating.
Man, with your Z Cabaricis.
Yeah, we're bonding over. He said Z Cabaricis. Oh yeah, I had the Z Cabaricis.
Hope you got a polo shirt and some Z Cabaricis, man. If you get remember the parachute pants? I didn't get the parachute pants.
No, I didn't.
You know,
mess with.
I did a little frost right there. I did like some of my mom's like bleaching hair color, little maybe, you know.
Oh, man.
And I had an earring. I had one on my left is right, right is wrong back then, you know. It's like Corey Hart, you know. And then Billy Idol came out, and he had both, and he blew my mind, you know, with his snarl, and you know. And I'm like, freaking Billy Idol was rock, dude. I love Rebel Yell. You know, that album is a beast. I love it. I still play it.
It's sad. Let's see. That's sad. And I think it was 84. It was that song battled against Jump from Van Halen for like the longest chart battle, first and second ever.
Now, look, I must say this. 1984 is the reason I picked up guitar, and I probably wouldn't be talking to you because the series of events, because my wife that I met, you know, playing rock and roll, pushed me to go to school. And at school, I worked in the horticulture department, and, you know, so all down the line. So 1984, I picked up the guitar. Now, Jump, I dug it. It hooked me in, but man, it was like Top Jimmy and Drop Dead Legs and, you know, Girl Gone Bad and Hot for a Teacher that, you know, did it for me. Eddie Van Halen, you know, is still one of my favorite guitarists. Him and Hendrix kind of like changed things, man. You know, inventors, you know, just.
Oh, listen! Today I just got into a commercial kitchen a month ago, so I got my sausage legal. Yep, I'm 100% insured, legal, and all that. Actually, I put my sauces in my first 2 stores today. So, but I had to go. I'm like, I need to go and make more, you know, because I'm kind of old and I worked in kitchens for years. I can't do long hours and big batches, so I do very small ones.
Out of you, man.
Yeah, but I put Unchained by Van Halen on. At one point, I'm like, it's time to bottle up. I need to focus and get this done, and I'll do the next one. And I threw that Van Halen on, man. I love it. I absolutely love it.
You can put Fair Warning on and play it on repeat for me. That's probably my favorite. I love 84, but Fair Warning is just my favorite album. But I met you know, Neil that took a lot of those old photos, man. And Zolzak, I always mess up his last, Zolz, and he's done all the photography for like Van Halen, you know, and he toured with them and stuff. And he's a friend of mine now, and he loves hot sauce.
That's
But he
awesome.
doesn't do it hot. He doesn't do it hot. Like he likes the verde and he likes the jellies. But like I sent him some R&D and some other stuff, and it was like he's like Primo, man. You know, he's really like, because I got a friend. He's friends with Michael Anthony, who has, you know, a sauce line. And dude, I need to look up how you pronounce his last name, and I always screw it up. But he just said, "Call me Neil," you know. So he's got all the photography. He's done all the photography for all the Van Halen stuff and Zeppelin and everything, man. And I just kind of like admired his work and sent him some sauce. I said, "Hey, man, thanks for the years. I had you your photography on my wall when I was a kid, and I just want you to have this hot sauce." And, you know, he wrote me back and said, "Dude, this is badass, you know, thank you. Let me send you something." I was like, no, it's cool. He goes, no, what kind of prints? You want a couple of prints? He sent me some prints, man, and signed them, you know, some nice freaking, you know, Van Halen prints and stuff. And he's just really cool dude, man. And
Wow.
what about
And
Primus?
that's the
I
thing
saw
is
Primus
back.
before. I saw Primus. I see.
Oh, I see Sonny
Sonny.
put Primus.
Yeah,
Primus is one. Yes, I've seen them too. They're one of the groups. I can say, you know, I'm kind of a I don't know. I'm a Karen boomer when it comes to new music, but Primus is one of the bands that came out in that '90s that I really liked, because I was against the grunge scene. I didn't like the grunge, but
you didn't like it?
No, I liked Rage Against the Machine, Primus, and like Linkin Park and stuff. There was some stuff that I liked, but the grunge, the Seattle scene, I
liked it, but I didn't like all of it, you know. But I liked like Soundgarden, you know, but grunge is a weird name, you know. It's like, you know, because like Pumpkins got thrown into grunge, and they weren't, you know, like Siamese Dream. The problem with a lot of this music, and I try to explain to my wife, she can get it with like Pumpkins and stuff. I was a big Pumpkins fan, but like all the bands that came out after Van Halen, Eddie Van Halen, like ruined it a lot for everybody.
Yeah,
so all the bands that came out, all the bands after Pumpkins, like Bush and all that junk, they kind of like, they ended up ruining that sound. But the first time you pop on Cherub Rock and you hear this wall of freaking staticky ass loud guitars and this guy singing like, you know, like cool enough to almost be at real feminine, kind of like just floating over the top of this wall of heaviness. It was cool. It was like, wow, that's kind of different, you know.
I like Radiohead.
Yeah, Radiohead's another originator, you know. So I was always into stuff that's different, and then once bands started copying them, then I kind of lost interest, because it's kind of like
they sounded so much alike. Like you said, yeah, Bush made a lot of songs too. I didn't like them personally. Just I don't know what it was about them.
If you like Bush,
I mean,
that's cool. But you know,
yeah, I went and seen them in concert and whatnot, you know, and they were good. They were good live. I mean, there's bands I'll go see live that will throw a kick-ass show, and they will perform better than my favorite people will perform. You see what I'm saying? So,
right,
but I'm just one of those guys. That's all I did when I was younger, was go to concerts, go to shows, you know, constantly. I mean, well, both in the summer and winter, but in the summer in upstate New York, we had a short summer. And so we have Saratoga Performing Arts Center. It's an amphitheater. It's open. So you have a lawn, and then it goes down, and it's got a beautiful park. But there's natural mineral springs. You can go and bathe in the mineral waters. You can drink them and all kinds of stuff.
Man.
It's so beautiful up there. Yeah. And so we used to go, you know, any concert that came there. I don't care. Stevie Nicks. I mean, we go to, they have Jazz Fest, Reggae, Sunsplash, all good stuff. But they have other stuff that's not even that good, but we still went, you know what I mean? We loved it.
It's the event. It's like Louisiana, man. It's you know, we're a hug culture, backyard culture, sharing food and friends and family and music, man. You know, my joke is that when the weather's this bad, you know, you either learn how to play a guitar or you have a lot of kids, you know. It's like, you know, you got to do something with your time when it rains that much. But, you know, it's cool, man. You know, like, yeah, I miss playing. Play a little bit of guitar now in the house, a little acoustic for Hudson. You know, a 3.5-year-old making up songs about garbage trucks and
That's awesome.
and buses.
I do that, but we rap. Like I put on a beat on the YouTube, and
That's
but
cool.
I totally
That's cool.
I'm with you, man. That's the best thing ever. Is
I
like,
used to do improv with Karkaya.
yeah, we do it with. She was in a band before. Yeah, I mean, we literally. He's talking about his 3-year-old. Like we do that. Yeah, I literally
Yeah.
rap battle my kids. Like and we have a blast with it. Reaper teacher asked about you eating a whole pod. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm not doing that right now.
No,
girl.
I know. No. She's not asking you to. Sonny asked you how you like to burn, Troy.
How do I
He
like
was
to
wondering
burn?
if you eat whole pods. Do you eat whole pods?
I don't just pop them all I don't really pop them. I'll cut them up and put them in food, you know?
Right. That's how I do.
And I mean, to me, no offense against popping a pod, is, it takes you on a journey, but you got to be ready, to be on that journey. And that's fine and all. Some people do it for kicks or just the machismo effect, and that's fine too. But personally, my time and place, for anything, they're like it, the right place and time, I'll do it. But in my personal time, I'm cutting it up and tasting it, putting it on food. Now I might eat 2 pods or something in a dish or 3, but I'm not just popping them in my mouth and tripping out, but
yeah.
But I still get the burn, man. I still get to,
Oh,
Karen and I'd go eat Thai food, and I'd say I want triple Thai hot.
Yeah.
And they come back.
Oh my
and
God, that's my favorite food.
What's that?
Yeah. So she said that's my wife's favorite fruit. Yeah, and that's how our first date. We told them
is my favorite by far.
Well, the first date we went
too.
on was an Indian restaurant, and I told them make it as hot as you can. And the guy said no. I said yes, and then he said, "What do you want, ma'am?" And she said the same thing. And he goes, "How hot?" She said the same. So we knew we were chili heads on our first date. We knew, and of course they didn't burn us at all. But and I get burned easy.
They
But
went to the local Thai restaurant. They
yeah,
they know me
our Thai,
for
the Thais,
decades.
they know how to
They'll light me up.
they know how to light us
But
up.
Yeah,
they make it perfect.
if they know you're not going to want your money back, that's the thing. Like I did some Laos, Laotian Laos. I went there and I was like, man, I want it they were doing Thai, I just said triple Thai hot or whatever, and, Laos and restaurant. And he'd come back and wasn't that hot. So I started bringing my own peppers, and then they meant business. So the next time I went back, he's like, okay. And he said, man, you eat hotter than the Asian folks that come, I know and come in here.
Oh yeah.
But they have a way, like, the Thais and the Laos, they know how to balance, the sweet, salty, with the peppers.
Yeah.
And I like Thai chilies. Like if somebody asks me, what's my favorite pepper, and I might say, oh, the Primo pepper, right? The obvious answer. But okay, so you really want to know? It's probably a Thai chili, and it's not super hot. But if you put 50 to 30 of them in the dish.
Oh yeah.
It's
exactly. That's what I'm always trying to do.
Yeah. That's what before we didn't even know. So let me tell you that this is the craziest thing. So I was a chili head eating these super hot, these long they're different kind of Thai pepper. We've had them as an adult. They're about 100,000. When I was 7, I tried one. This old guy up at New York, Gus, he grew jalapenos and these peppers every year. I got lit when I was a kid. I'd bring peppers to school and burn my teachers, my friends, everything. But
how old were you?
But it was like when I was 7
Wow.
is the first one I ever ate.
Wow.
I got wrecked. I went into panic mode. My ears burned and stuff.
Yeah,
and I've still never been able to handle heat like my wife can, but I like it. And so time went on, but I got out of the whole chili scene. I remember back in the days, like when me and you were in Vic's basement, you see me, I was geeking out. Like I'm seeing hot sauces from 1994 and stuff that I'm like, look at that, and losing it. So I was into it. There was a hot sauce store that was about an hour from me, so I'd go down there and I got to try, so I was up on it to a certain point. And, when the habanero first came on the scene in America, and you could get it in stores. I mean, I remember all of that. And so it was, years went by. But the funniest thing was I had this roommate. So he was from New York, but he came down and lived with me down here, and he drove me nuts. He was he always would go out to a bar and he'd tell girls that he wrestles crocodiles and in the
I know
jungle
that
and
guy.
stuff.
I know that guy.
Crazy.
Alligators.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah, this guy literally was. But anyways, everything he said, he was so full of crap. He tells me, "I want to find a Carolina Reaper," and I'm like, "What is that?" You know, I think it's some kind of animal because he's always got these weird stories. And he goes, "Oh, it's the hottest pepper in the world." And I go, "No, it's not." I says, "The ghost pepper is." And I literally discredited anything more than a ghost because just he was so full of shit. And so anyways,
The boy who cried wolf.
So, yeah, so anyways, it was like my wife and me, we lived on Topsail Island, beautiful, right on the coast. We were right there on the ocean, and we used to, but all we could get our hands on was dried ghost chilies and Thai chilies from the Asian markets and stuff like that. So we used to just we always got a nice burn going, and we always made a lot of good food, and we'd make different like hot sauces, salsas, and chutneys and stuff, to go with our food. But I couldn't burn her. I tried. I used to sometimes I'd take whole ghosts and put them in the curry without chopping and breaking them up, and I'd let them rehydrate in there, and then I'd make sure I scooped them out and put them in her bowl. And I couldn't burn her. I was like, I've never seen her burn yet. So it took me a long time, but eventually.
That's awesome. Nagas, ghosts, those variants are really good in Thai. In curries and stuff. They're from that area.
They're so good.
But my son, I think he beat you because he ran to the garden at about 3 years old, got a head of carrot, and grabbed a Caribbean red that, I had growing and just snatched it, ate it, chewed on it, and then spit it out. But he was messed up. He's okay.
Lit.
He cried and his lips were red, but he was all right. But, I was doing some production for hot sauce stuff or something, and she sent me some pictures, and it looked like he had lipstick on. It was like, he's never done that again, and he's he's learned his lesson. We try to keep him close, but he knows that the red peppers. He's like, the red peppers are hot. I was like, well, not all of them, but most of them, yes. But this year I just grew a bunch of like crosses and stuff, and we had a brutal year, man. Heat. Everybody had a hot year. We had 100 and something degrees, for a month with no rain. So I had a crop that came in with some Louisiana Creepers and the Mama's family and some other crosses. And I sent Johnny some pods, and, and after that, man, it was like slim pickings. So I was able to get some seeds, but not a lot of anything. I might overwinter the plants because I think, we're not going to have enough time from now till the first, frost to get anything out of them. I just don't think. I mean, maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. I didn't need what was going on in the backyard. I was just kind of inspired after the production that we were involved in to kind of like get back involved in having fun and back to the roots, so to speak. Had some seeds in the refrigerator that had been a couple of years old, and you either think about seeds that don't last forever, so you have to germinate them within 5 years typically, and other than that you've lost that variety, you've lost it. So it's a constant thing, and I just lost interest after it seemed everybody was either copying me or renaming things. And you can look up like Big Mustard Mama and see all kind of peppers, that mustard pods that look like it. I don't know, but I just know that, fun fact, growers out there, I know y'all like sending pods around, and I want to tell you about what's going on this weekend about sending pods. Don't want to contradict myself, but know that when you have your cross and it leaves your backyard, all bets are off. So I kind of got jaded until Johnny and some others in the production inspired me to kind of do this again. And so I'm back, you know, and I'm never gone anywhere, but I'm kind of back playing around, you know, with the crosses and stuff. So it's kind of hard because I'm doing production, I'm making sauce, I'm growing peppers, John Hart told me, early on when I started this, he says you need to make a choice. You either grow them or you make hot sauce. You either be a producer or a grower. But I think that, you could kind of do both, if you do it right.
Of course.
If I wish I had a facility like with some acreage, and that's the goal, to where you could do a farm to table kind of thing, with the hot sauce. And that would be amazing. But so anyway, I forgot where I was going with this, but sending pods. I have to say this because League of Fires, doing the belt match. I don't know if y'all are going. You're probably going to be in Carolina, or are you going up to?
No,
that?
I'm not. I have to work this weekend. I'll be watching it on the live stream, but that's about it.
30th, and it's the Saucy Festival. Correct me if I'm wrong with all the details because I've been spaced out. But they, talking to Paul and Shahina, and they needed some pods, right? So there's this thing that we do called the Wrecking Crew, and they called it Troy Primo's Wrecking Crew. But the name came out of just me just throwing it in the air because, I was, for years before the production thing and before everything going on, I was friends with him, and I'd help him out by sending pods for, Johnny and Shahina's battles and all this stuff. And if I didn't have it growing, we need, tons of varieties, and I wasn't growing tons of varieties. So I was like, well, I've got a lot of friends, and I'll see if they're interested in sending some pods, and I'll pay for shipping, or maybe they'll do it, or whatever. We'll get it there, we'll figure it out. And we did. So they wanted to bill it, like Troy Primo's Peppers supplies these peppers. And I felt bad about that because, I didn't want to steal anybody else's thunder and hard work. I'm just the guy, just matchmaker, so to speak. And so I just, I said, why don't you call it the Wrecking Crew? And it kind of stuck. And now it's like a revolving cast of people that can or can't supply pods. And this year we've got Brent Rutherford. We've got, let's see who else we got. Brian Seal, Jacob Deathridge, Bob. Who else we got, man?
Bill
Justin
Corbett's a Wrecking Crew, right?
He is. He didn't send any pods this year. I think his pods weren't quite ripe yet or something. But yeah, he is. And it's like it's not that exclusive, but if I could trust you and like you say you're going to send them and you want to do it out of the kindness of your heart, and it being a part of the community, and that's it. You're hard. But it's something that to stay involved in, and I don't have to do it. And I definitely don't want to take credit for all of it, but I'd like to be at the festival. But since I can't be at the festival, at least, the Primo Army can be at the festival. We're going to have the Primo Army there, and people are going to get to take a little, I don't know how much they're going to have to consume of it, but
half a bottle. Well, no, a shot glass. So I think you get 3 out of 5 ounce Woozy is 3 shot glasses. Right. So you're going to do at least a third of a bottle.
It's going to be fun. Yeah. It's going to be a little fun. It's probably a break for them compared to the pods that are going. Dude, I got
Trust
the list.
Me, listen, I got a buddy that was worried about it, right? I'm not going to say names because, this isn't public, but he was a little worried because he's never done that. And I said, no. I said, yeah, it's going to hit your gut because it's like 4 peppers in one gulp. But I said, trust me when I tell you, it's going to break up the monotony of the floralness, the bitter. Right, you're going to taste something good. And I sponsored the other one that's going on next month.
That's true. That's true. We're gonna get some pods there, God's willing. It might be different guys, because in the Wrecking Crew are guys or girls, because some of these might be into season, right? So,
Yeah.
that's the thing about this. We're getting down to the end of it for most people, and we'll make it happen though, so.
Well, if you need anything, I have these caramel primatellis. They're freaking nuts. They're hot, crazy hot. But I got a bunch. They came on late,
Right.
But I do have a bunch.
Yeah, if you have
ripe,
them, dude, look, Bullcow, you're officially in the wrecking crew.
all right, yeah, because I don't have any. I have no plans for them. All my stuff that I grow, but like you were saying, you grow or make sauce. I don't even. My pods come from a USDA approved farm. I give him the seeds or seedlings.
Yeah, no,
so
it's
all
good.
of my
It's
stuff for
good.
my sauce goes there, and then all the other stuff. This stuff is like I grow it for personal use.
They're getting funny. They're getting funny about pods, man. Like sourceability and stuff. So it's like, you gotta, like big co-packers. It has to be, the farm has to be FDA forms now and stuff. So I think that's kind of unfortunate in my book, because there might be a form.
I mean, because what happens to the little guys that because really, I mean, I used to see sauce. I know one still sauce maker that likes to. He goes out to the farmer's market, likes to buy off the little guys.
Yeah.
First of all, the little guys stuff is fresher and it's hotter. They say it's habaneros or jalapenos, at least on those. But so now they're getting so strict with this that, oh yeah, man, I literally I knew beforehand, because I knew before I took the acidified foods course and went through that whole thing. I already knew because other people kind of told me, and I know a lot of people that just ignore it. But me, I literally grow everything. I don't have. There's nothing that I grow that's in my sauces. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I literally said, nope, I have a USD approved farm. He grew for me last year too, but I wasn't making sauce like that. I was just, just have a freezer full of pods and make challenges. And I used to make a little bit of sauce and I'd send it out, and just test the waters. But so when I got ready to do this, I said, no, y'all ain't catching me out there on nothing. I'm straight up doing it this way. And so let me see how they write. I'll keep you updated. I think that's on the 21st, that one in Sacramento.
21st.
Yeah, so I got to send I'm probably going to send probably send the sauces for the chug first to make sure they have them. Yeah. And then wait until, at least probably 17th to if we have to send the pods. But yeah, I don't have any plans for them. So if they look good and ripe enough, they take forever to ripen. That's why I'm like, they might be ripe right around that time. And I don't like them as far as eating them plain. I ate one and it gave me a gut bomb. But I will tell you this. The first time I tried it was just like a few weeks ago, maybe a month. It had almost no flavor to it. So I said, well, it's not.
Oh, yeah.
I said, it's not.
Maybe the heat and stuff and what you had to water a lot.
But it's just it's a caramel pod. The caramel pods are usually bitter, and they don't have a lot of flavor to them. They don't even have the earthy notes of like a chocolate pod. So. But what I did was I dehydrated a bunch of them, and I made a powder. And I told everybody, I bet you this powder is going to be really hot, but not have, it's not going to taste like much. It's going to kind of be like the weirdest thing. And it was, but it was good. Once I made the powder, I was like, this is pretty good. I'm like, this would be good in chocolate, or some kind of fudge. Because you know how if you put too much red powder in something like that, it can change that to, where it tastes a little too peppery. Yeah. So I think it's whatever. It's got its use. Somebody can use it.
So I saw Annie was asking about the acidified foods course. North Carolina State University offers one, and I want to say it's either $500, $800. I can't remember. I think it's $500, but it
$400.
Is it
$400? I just
they send you the book. Yep. They send you the book, and you can do it online. And, test and all that stuff. I recommend anybody that's into making hot sauce legally to do it. I mean, you can do it even if you're not going to do it in a commercial kitchen. It's a good way not to get somebody sick, make somebody sick, and stay legit and know how to do it. Goes through all the labeling, all the testing and everything. So, and if you have a hot sauce company and you're going to be making your own hot sauce, you have to do it. It's the law. You have to take that course.
Yeah.
So anyway,
it's I'm gonna tell you guys. I'll tell you guys quick how I did it was because I am not a big time reader, and studying a book that thick, 200 pages, was very intimidating. But they have it so you can do it online,
yeah,
and
you can just watch the videos.
so it's easier. Yeah, you pull it up on your computer screen. You can watch. There's some videos on there, and then there's also it's kind of broken down a little bit better on the computer. But the book also you can kind of take notes. But you can take one module at a time as slow as you want. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I literally would just take one mod a week on a lunch break at work.
Yeah.
I would literally I would just clock out and I would take it and and it's literally it's not as hard as
I took my time through it. I mean, I was making sauce and stuff before that, years ago, because where we were producing was a facility that they had a blanket, a guy that was all the doc PhDs and stuff that had that. But it's like you got to take it, and a few years back I took it, even though look, man, I knew a lot of what was in that book. But when you get to the specifics of different bacteria strains and stuff like that, and spores, and people worried about fermenting stuff and killing people, like, oh, I'm gonna make somebody sick, dude. Get the book and just it's gonna be it's good to be cautious, but I found that I was probably overly cautious. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's good to
it's
good to be overly cautious. I don't want to dissuade people from being cautious about making hot sauce, but the book will save you some peace of mind for a lot of things. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah,
but,
and it's good. I'm glad that I took it, even though I knew the basics. I've fermented. I've done all kinds of different hot sauces. From fire roasted, fermented. I always had my pH low enough. I always would pasteurize and the hot would hold.
Exactly.
But so I knew all that stuff, but I'm still glad I took it because there was a lot of eye openers in there. There's a lot of things that I kind of was like, oh yeah, and no, it can freak you out when you're reading through it and you're thinking,
it'll freak you out, but it's like knowledge is key, so
exactly, yeah.
To
and
me,
I'm so glad
I always like to learn, I always like to learn, and you can never. I've taken that and the qualified, individual course and all that. I've taken quite a few, when they offer them, I take them if I'm available to take them, even the ones that aren't even mandated to take. So, but yeah, I had to, when I started out doing R&D years ago, before we were legit, it was using star sand and, and you can use bleach, but there's star sand that the beer companies use. And, and there's a lot of things that I did to, prevent. I wasn't selling stuff. It was like friends and family, handing out things. And then, jelly and stuff. And people would say, wow, this is really good. And we're boiling, jelly jars for 20 minutes in the kitchen, and and all this stuff, taking forever to make a case to sell at the farmer's market under Louisiana cottage law or whatever, And then you learn oh, I can sanitize these jars with this stuff and then not have to do that step. So that you can just be informed, and I'm giving out trade secrets a little bit because in hot sauce biz it's I like helping people, I like mentoring people, but I don't also. It's a fine line between that and telling everybody everything you've learned over the years, so where they have the easy route, because I want to educate people, but I want them to actually want to be educated and go and do it. And not just take the easy, not just get the answers to the test and, the key and just cheat, So you have to go through the process. Anyway, enough preaching. But
no, that's good to know, man.
Yeah.
And he's got a new sauce out. Anybody that jumped on late, guys, we're talking about Primo Army, his new sauce, primospeppers.com. It's there. You can go order yourself 2 of them. You can order yourself 1, but I have seen a lot. Most people are ordering 2. That's what I've seen.
Yeah.
A lot of people are.
It seems like bang for the buck. It's not an inexpensive sauce, but you know, my prices were like, since 2015 were like $7.99. I just went up, you know, a couple of bucks, but
Well, you have to.
well,
Everything's more expensive
wasn't
now.
doing I wasn't doing it, you know, and I was like, my cost analysis, I would do it, and I was like, my margins were going down, and I just like, I knew people were having a hard time with finances right now in the economy or whatever, and I felt bad, but one of my buddies just told me like a joke, kind of like he said, you know, these two guys, and they would go to the market and pick up like watermelons for $1 and put them in their truck and go sell them, you know, on the side of the street or whatever for $1. And then they, you know, worked all day to sell all these watermelons. And then they're like, hey, we didn't make any money. And one guy goes, I got an idea. We need to get a bigger truck, you know? So it's not going to work, man. You know, you have to make money. You have to, you know, and we were making money, but I think that the adjustment was needed. And you know, I kind of checked out the competition and talked to my co-packer, and he's like, man, people are selling sauces $12 to $20. So I'm like, I'm not selling it 20. Yeah. I'm not selling it $20, even though I know there's sauces that aren't as good that are selling for $20.
$22.
I mean, that's crazy.
$22. The newest big craze that and I guess what?
I'll sign it for 30, right? I'll sign it.
Bro,
signs it for 30.
It's the worst sauce I've had in like a year, and the worst sauce I've ever had is from that same company. So yeah, I'll never order anything from them again. That was disgusting. It took 2 weeks to get it.
Wow.
They shipped a single bottle DHL. Who does that? So yeah, so DHL, no, and that's what you got people out there. So, yeah, you send a single bottle DHL. So it's terrible.
And I think Primo Army might be the hottest sauce I've ever had.
Yeah,
really?
She's ate all. Cool. She's ate all of them.
And it tasted.
Yeah, she loves it.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we wanted like, we didn't want to do $20, whatever, and we wanted to just like be on the lower end of that, you know, like the $12, $11.99. But you know, that allows me to be able to run more sales and do fun things, you know, because our margins were pretty tight before. So I'm sorry, folks. You know, hopefully things will turn around and you all just prosper.
It's worth it. If you think about how many peppers are in it, right?
There's
First of all, then you got all the labor.
Double
all the stuff, like everything. The bottles prices went up over the past couple years. The shipping. I remember the first time I ever ordered from Berlin. They had free shipping if you ordered $300. Bro, I took
from Berlin.
Took it.
Wow.
Yeah, and then they did away with it. They said we lost our ass. They told me they said we can't do that no more.
Shipping.
So now it's so much for the shipping, man. It's like, so yeah. The way I look at it, I mean, you have to. And I just, like I said, I just launched a month ago, and I literally had to look at everything. And so all I did was did $9.99. $10.99, $11.99 for the 3 because there was that much margin on my cost. Yeah. So I'm not making more off of the $11.99 than the $9.99. My profit margin is exactly the same. The difference is the cost of those peppers. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Andy would just ask, you know, because I'm kind of, it's hard for me to read everything, but I see it pop up every now and then. It's like, what are you apologizing for? Well, look, evaluating your self-worth is hard to do, especially for a person like me that I'm not full of myself. Look, everybody likes their name and lights and attention, and I do. I'm a Leo. I mean, I enjoy it, but I know money is money, and to take something and invent it, you know, grab it from the cosmos, from the ether, you know, and invent something, hot sauce. And go through all your labors to make that materialize, and then to sell it, you know, to people that really work their butt off, and you know, to pay a premium price compared to everything in the store, right? You know, the Tabascos and all that. That has a place. I have it in my fridge, but to pay a premium boutique hot sauce price, you know, that's a gift for me. You know, I appreciate it very much. So that's why I apologize. But I know that good things are good, you know, I was eating some pizza with Kara one night, and you know, I had a Primonition right there, and I was just like, you know, I think it was $7.99 at the time, and I just said, Kara, I said, you know, I wish I could get this down to $2.50, you know, you know, something
Right.
like not to chase the Walmart model, because I think we're a boutique company, but just like, because I live in Louisiana, and everybody thinks I'm like super, not everybody, but thinks I'm very proud with my pricing, because they don't get it. They're so used to Louisiana hot sauce and Crystal and Tabasco and inexpensive. Yeah, I mean, look, I love that stuff,
Yeah.
but you know, it's like, it's different. It's a whole different thing, you know. And we might come out
It's
with a
not the
line
same
like
thing
that.
at all.
Yeah,
No.
it's just so I just say, you know, I told Kara, I said, you know, this sauce, I wish I could get it down in price. And she's like, well, Troy, you're drinking like a $20 bottle of wine right now, you know? And you know, it's like, if they want it, and they can, hope to God they can afford it, they'll buy it. So
Right.
that's why I think, as far as my business structure, I've got some investors in that I'd like to know about my business, right? And like decision making and all that stuff. But I think for some of this stuff, I need the business people to help me out, because I'll give everything away. You know, it's
Yeah.
just the way I am. It's the way I am.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I know what that's like. I did that for so long. I would be like, and I remember times going to the post office and, you know, $110, $120 for shipping costs just for stuff I'm giving away. So
yeah,
it's my own fault I do everything priority. It's my own fault that it was that much. But I remember times when I'm like, you know, someone asked me, hey, can I get this? And I'm like, well, I give it to you, but I don't get paid till Friday. They're like, what? And they're
yeah.
like, I'll send you
Wow.
shipping. I'll pay for it. And I'm like, no, no, no. So that was during the time when because when I first started, I was like, I made hot sauce. And I made it for us, and I was kind of experimenting around. And like literally the first batch that I actually had a good like a label on, I met Johnny that week. This was two years ago, and I gave him a bottle. And so it was like, but I started to, you know, sell it, you know, a little bit. I'd put it up on Instagram and stuff, and then people were like, "No, you can't do that," you know, and they're like,
Yeah.
"It's illegal."
I mean,
And I
you
mean, literally, like,
can, but
yeah,
you might get in
but
trouble.
it's not worth it. So I went through this
Yeah, I
phase
know.
where I was like, okay, well, I'll just give it away, and then I went through this phase where it's like I just make challenges and like to burn people, and so then I finally just got to the point where I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, I'm either not going to do nothing, or I'm just going to go, you know, the legit route. And
Right.
I went through it, man. I went through the red tape, you know, the insurance, the acidified foods course, dealing with the process authority, and because here it's so weird. There's different regions of the state. So like the process authority is FDA, right?
Right.
But the inspector for this
It's like
area is DOA.
DHH. Oh, yeah.
Right.
We
So
Department of
so
Health
they
and Hospitals.
bumped heads. The freaking messed my labels up all kinds of different
Oh well,
ways, and
yeah,
so I'm like,
they'll like So this is the weird thing. It's like, you know, you get the process authority, you know, and they give you your letter, and you know, you give them their recipe and you know their authority, so they shouldn't rip you off, right? So they're the process authority, feds, you know, license. All right, so but then you still have to get inspected by the DHH, you know, Department of Health and Hospitals, and they have to register your label with the state. They have to give their 2 cents, and it might be something, you know, one of their little pet peeves. I'd had to go back and forth with them and prove, like, cite FDA regulations, because we had one time we had a design company that did our jelly jars, and they were very versed on FDA law, like label law, like more than I was at the time. Now I've learned a lot in
right,
courses and just experience things you can park under spices and things, you know, all the laws. But they argued with my local DHH back and forth, like, no, this is why you can do this nutrition panel this way, the abbreviated version, because it's got less than this percent of this or that, you know,
that's
and
right.
that, you know, if it's got less than nutritional value, like, you know, 0 whatever, potassium zero, whatever, so many zeros, you can use a simplified version, and that's what we did. And they wanted to block that. They didn't get it. And also on our jelly, it has a flavor profile. So Kara writes his flavor profile. She's thinking like wine, like, pick. I'm just making this up. I can't remember our flavor profile, but it's like smoky, like leathery shoe, whatever. It doesn't have a leathery shoe, but that kind of like wine thing. And they were like, wait, it's got leather shoes in it? They didn't get it. They're like, if you list something like that, you have to put it as an ingredient, and I was like, no, you don't get it, man. You thinking like it's kind of, and then they got it. But I forgot what it was. It wasn't leathery shoe. It was something like smoky toasted notes of like juniper berries or something. I don't know, man. But it didn't have juniper berries in it.
They messed my whole label up, and then I had to change it again when the DOA looked at it. So my one sauce is like Fatales, Yellow Reapers, habanero, right? And so it says, and I have a bottle of someone else's sauce right here. This is from North Carolina. This is legal. Chili peppers. Then it's got the peppers in bars, which peppers they are. That's the first ingredient. The first ingredient on all my sauces is always chili peppers. Well, they decided that the process authority was going to make my number one ingredient vinegar. Then they were going to put this chili pepper, then this chili pepper, then onion, then this chili pepper, and I was pissed. But then hold on, it got even worse. When I got this official process authority, when I sent it to the inspector, she said, "What type of vinegar?" I go, "Well, that one's white vinegar." I go, "Well, apple cider's listed down further, so it's pretty obvious this one's white." She said, "You have to put distilled white vinegar." So I had to go in and get the format from. It was such a pain to get that off of there and then get it back on. And I was mad because it just didn't look. It made it longer, and I was like, I can't. I was like 2-3 days. I was mad about it.
There's a lot of labels.
So the way they grew.
There's a lot of labels that aren't in regulation. I mean, I see them all the time. I can spot them, especially after taking the class. You can spot them too. But you should, like, if you use pepper mash, you have to put in brackets. Peppers, distilled vinegar, close brackets. Or if you let's just say you take a packet of ranch dressing and you have that in your ingredients, you have to do ranch dressing, open quotes, everything that's in that product.
Everything. Oh,
close
yeah,
quotes.
that's the worst.
So
that is the worst.
So a lot of companies, I've seen a lot that might just say ranch dressing. So if you're making your own ranch dressing and breaking it down in your kitchen, then buttermilk, and you have everything listed, spices and herbs and all that, listed salt, that's okay. But if you're using a pre-made product, you have to put it in quotations and list it.
Put it, and that's what I was very careful. I was very careful about that. I was like, nope, I'm not doing nothing that's anything. There's not a single sub ingredient. I was like, absolutely not. And I looked into it. Trust me, I looked into it before when I was like, I made like a ghost pepper kind of taco sauce with chipotle peppers. This is just for me, like not. But anyways, some people tried it, went nuts, and they're like, you got to make that. And I'm like, no, I use canned chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. So then they're like, make it. So I tried using dried. It wouldn't come out the same.
Just
it was
break
just
it
for
up.
some reason that little can. Yeah. So anyways, I was like, and I was thinking of actually putting it out. And I'm like, when I look at the sub ingredients on that little can, I'm like, hell no, I ain't doing that. Like, I'll make that for myself. But I'm like,
probably got all kinds of crap.
It's got so much crap in it that I'm just like, hell no, man. And I'm like, my stuff is like, 6-7 ingredients.
Yeah,
like
that's why you'd almost have to kind of like, in this situation, I'd sourceability is an issue, but you have to I'd try to find something clean, maybe that has minimal, that I could get in bulk or make your own.
Yeah.
Try to and
I could make it.
But I go through this a lot, man. Like thinking about things. I'm better at it now. The Primonition, it's so laborious to make, but that's what makes it special. Exactly. And no one will co-pack it. I mean, I know Adam and Endorphin and them, technically they probably could, but it's not in their model. I mean, it'd be too expensive, and they don't want to mess with that, you know. So it's something that we have to do in our own facility, and that's okay. You know, if it's something that has to be seasonal, and I don't think it will, but you know, something that is special that comes around, you know, a couple times a year, that's okay. But right now, it's one of those things where it's just, I have orders. Somebody wants, hey man, I want 500 cases of it. I can't do it. I mean, you know, I can't make it fast enough. So, but that's okay. You know, I mean, I hate saying no, but you know, I don't want to sell ourselves short, and I want to keep our quality. I don't want to put a co-pack version of Primonition out that doesn't even taste like it. You know,
No.
that's just pointless.
No,
so
we'll
just keep it in the you know, keep it the way it is for now, and and you know, and as we grow as a company, maybe we can make that, you know, the availability like of the XXX Primonition, have that come around more often. There's a lot of stuff.
I need a bottle of that. I know you haven't had ever since I've been, like, I went to your site a few times, and I said he ain't had it in a while. I said,
I'm gonna get it before Christmas. I'm gonna make some. I'm gonna schedule the time to do it, you know, and with my family and with the facility, and we'll get that done because people want it, you know.
Yeah, I would love it. I actually love Primonition. My coworker, actually, I only had a little bit left. There was just a little bit, and I mean, I bring stuff to work. The fridge is full of hot sauce there, but she was like, "This is awesome." I said, "Finish it off. Go ahead." But yeah, I definitely want to get the hotter one. And
it's not gonna melt. It's not gonna melt your face, but it's like 3 times as hot as the regular one, you know, and it's still tastes the same. You know, it's just a little hotter. But
amen.
So what else?
All right, Troy, we're gonna tie it up,
right.
and anybody out there, if anybody's got any last questions, if you want to shoot one in. Most people are not asking us nothing tonight,
That's all right.
Troy.
This is
they're just kind of letting us. Dude, we're freestyle rapping here.
I could have told them all the secrets. You know, I'm in a mood right now. I'm drinking like hot water and coffee. God, man. I would have told y'all all about the Louisiana Creeper, man.
There it is. Hey, let me tell you something. There was something. It's funny the timing that video came out. So there was some
sauce. All right, sorry.
There was some really bad actors that were trying to do something similar. Let's just say that. But anyways,
bad
video.
Actors, bad actors.
Johnny's video came out, and me and my wife, I don't know if I was home that day or what, but as soon as I got the notification, I go, share that damn thing everywhere. I go, we have to make that video go viral. Now, it wasn't just us, but it was the chili community. It was the Primo Army. It was Johnny. It was all of us, man. We were literally like, bam, 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 sharing it, spamming it in groups. She got banned from posting for like a week or something. My wife did.
That Johnny one?
The Creeper.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
So we went nuts.
Dude,
that
one went like enormo, man.
Almost, I think it's 300,000 views now or something. But
that goes to show you there's a little bit of built up kind of excitement about that pepper, you know. And look, it may or may not come out soon. No, I'm just gonna,
you know what?
It's in the pipe, you know, and it's gonna, you know, it's back, but when it comes out, it'll be a secret because, you know, I like secrets. Well, actually, it's hard for me to keep secrets sometimes. But
hey, listen, no, but I mean, like you said, you told me about 6 months ago, you said either I'm going to die with it and no one gets to try it, you know, or I'm going to put it out and someone's going to steal it from me. So, it's like,
that's classic.
You know,
I don't remember saying that, but that's a good one.
Yeah, that's what you said. You said, I mean, pretty much. But I mean, I think you reversed it. I think you said that someone's just going to rename it, or I can die with it. But anyways,
well, it's like with the production that's going to be coming out in the near future, hopefully. There's a lot of Primo, you know, like the 7-pot Primo, you know. So that's that baby, you know. So The future is the Louisiana Creeper, but you know, it's just, is that tomorrow or is that a year from now or 2 years from now? I don't know, man. Y'all have to wait and see. I'm gonna keep y'all hanging. Gotta have.
Yeah, make a sauce with it first before you release it.
Yeah, I'm gonna look. I learned from a lot of stuff over the years that I'm gonna put out products before I put out, you know, recoup some investment before, because once your seeds leave, you know, your backyard, all bets are off, you know. And if you're all right with that, look, we wouldn't be. I know you got to go. We wouldn't be talking if I had not let the Primo 7-pot Primo out in the backyard, because it kind of started its own thing and became something that when you Google yourself 5 years later, you're all over the world. You know, now I'm just trying to monetize something that exists beyond me, that's going to outlive me forever. Hopefully I'll, you know, be around a while, but, you know, I'm confident that it's going to be around longer than I am.
I am too, brother. Well, God bless you, and thank you for
God
coming
bless
on,
you,
guys.
man. You and your family.
Get you some Primo. Hey, you can get some swag too. He's got some nice swag there. But I want everybody watching this, if you haven't done so, go order yourself the Primo Army. It's got the Uncle Bullcow stamp of approval on it.
Thanks, man.
And you guys will absolutely love that sauce. It is a classic, like, throat punch red sauce, but with tons of flavor. And thank you for coming on. And yeah, we're gonna try to you know, we're gonna try to just get this Primo Army to grow every day a little bit more and more.
Yeah, man. It's just, look, my final saying, the Primo Army is just like the land of misfit toys. It's like, it's my people, you know. We're the underdogs, you know. We're just, you know, that's all I gotta say. Thank you.
We are the streets. Like, we are what it is. We are heavy metal. The other guys are, they're backstreet boys, you know?
Yeah.
I
We're
mean,
not soda pop and pixie sticks, man.
No.
We're freaking, like, you know, we're rock and roll. So anyway.
That's right. All right. God bless you, brother.
All right.
Thank you,
God
Troy.
bless you. Take
Everybody
it
tune
easy.
in next week. Peace out, all.